We're now going to work on the oil pressure sending unit system of the Lincoln and change the oil. The oil pressure sending unit is right down there. Let's see if we can see it a little bit better. It's kind of hard to see it, but it's right down there by the oil filter, right above the oil filter and to the left. And the switch is in the closed position when there's no oil pressure, which it should be right now. The test lamp goes from the battery positive through the oil pressure sending unit to the engine block, which is the ground. You can see here there's no indication on the lamp, so the sending unit is bad. There was no indication of the oil light on the dashboard when the key was turned on before the engine was started, so I thought it might be a bad sensor. Now I'll demonstrate on the test lamp what a good sensor should do. Here's the sending unit, the good one, and I'm going to ground this out to the negative terminal of the battery, just like it would be when it's screwed into the engine, and the test lamp lights because there's no oil pressure on the sensor. So I'm going to put a little bit of Teflon tape on here, not too much. I think ideally you might use some thread compound, but I just don't have any with me. And I used Teflon tape on the Grand Marquis, and it seemed to be okay. We still were able to get an electrical connection through the threads, but the tape will just provide an additional measure of sealing the threads on it to help prevent leaks. So I've got a special socket to remove this on. I've already been through this process on that Grand Marquis. Its oil pressure sending unit is back behind the intake manifold at the rear of the engine. This engine bay is more crowded though, but on the 302s it's down by the oil filter. Now I'm going to take off the old sending unit and replace that one. I'm also going to change the oil. Here's the socket right here that you use for that. You can get it at the auto parts store. It's specifically made for that application. I'm going to drain the old oil before I remove the sending unit. It's a 9/16 plug, and there's actually two oil plugs. One here at the front and one underneath. This type of car was never my favorite, or it was my less favorite one to change the oil on because they're so low and they've got two oil drain plugs to them. The older Grand Marquis has just one drain plug at the front and it's on the side too, and the engine I think sits a lot further forward, so it's a lot easier to do, and the Ford pickup is also a single drain plug that's 7/8 inch. So there's the front drain plug. I'm draining out the old oil, and I'm going to now drain the rear one. I'll have to get back under the side of the car here to get to that one. I've now got the new oil pressure sending unit on. Let's see if we can see it. There it is. And I've got the oil warning light cable hooked back up to it. A little bit of oil leaked out there when I put it on. So I've put on a new oil filter. I really prefer Motorcraft oil filters for Ford products, but this one had some damage to it. It was dented and there was some paint scraped off of the top of it. So I used the STP oil filter I had as a backup, but I think eventually I want to go ahead and get a Motorcraft filter, because I don't think this one has a anti-drain back valve. I think these ones do, so that the filter stays full of oil even when the engine is stopped, to help reduce the wear at startup. But I think this one will do for now. Here's the old oil pressure sending unit. Notice all the corrosion on it. And the oil pressure warning lamp is now functional. Go ahead and turn the key to the on position, and you'll notice it does come on. Now we'll start it up. It goes right off. I knew it had good oil pressure, but I really wanted my oil warning system to be fully functional. There's also a check oil indicator, which I think detects low oil level in the oil pan. And that's the door warning lamp that's on now. So the engine sounds good. Oil warning light system is working good. We'll just double check the oil level. Of course I checked it right after filling it up, but we'll check it again. Check it for any leaks. And that part of it is now done. So I feel better about having fresh, clean oil in there. Although the old stuff wasn't terribly dirty. I don't know what circumstances this car experienced in its past life, but there was a sticker in here from Walmart, and Walmart did a pretty good job. They didn't put the oil filter on too tight, and they didn't put the drain plugs on too tight either. Looks like it was last changed in 2008. 10W40. So the filter was easy to get off, and the drain plugs. I had a problem with the pickup in that somebody put the oil filter on way too tight, and I had to nearly crush it to get it off of it. So one more thing I'm going to try and do on the Lincoln is try and work on the air conditioning. I'm going to see if I can just manually activate the blend door to put it to the AC mode, because that's what I really need the most on it. So now there's the oil system repair on the Lincoln. I'm gonna take this intake tube off of the old maroon Grand Marquis and put it on there. Sometimes for the state inspection, they're picky about that kind of stuff, that all the intake stuff has to be just like it was from the factory. So I think I can do that. Now I've removed the blend door servo, and so I can pull this back and forth, and pulling it gives nice cold air from the vents. So I think I'll figure out some way to do a mock-up so that I can make this just stay in the cool position, because that's really what I'll need probably till about October. I'm really not going to need heat, so I'll just set this up to stay in the full cool position. Because that's what happened with the pickup. On the pickup, it doesn't have an automatic servo, but the dashboard control is messed up. So they took the cable out to where you can get to it. So I just pull the cable all the way to the cool position for air conditioning, and adjust it for the desired heat level for heating. So that's not a big it's not a big sacrifice for me to make, especially to get nice cool air. Eventually I will try to figure out what the problem is though with the blend door actuator.